It is 3 a.m. You are wide awake. Your heart is pounding, but not from a nightmare. You are thinking about money. You are thinking about the house payment that is due on the 1st. You are thinking about the car payment. You are thinking about the childcare costs that just went up again. You are 34 years old, and you feel like you are failing. You have a good job. You are smart. But you look at your bank account, and the numbers just do not make sense. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to confront that feeling. We are going to name it, and then we are going to dismantle it together. For so many of us, our 30s are a trap. This is the decisive decade. It is the time when our careers are supposed to be taking off. But it is also the time when our life costs explode. We did everything we were told to do. We went to school, we got the job, we met the person, maybe we bought the house. And now, we are suffocating under the weight of it all. We are house poor, a term for when we own a beautiful home but cannot afford to go out to dinner. We are cash poor, earning more money than we ever have before. But we have absolutely no idea where it all goes. We look at our friends on social media, and they all seem to be doing just fine. They have the bigger house, the newer car, the perfect vacations, and we are left feeling like a fraud, just 1 or 2 paychecks away from disaster. This stops today. This journey we are starting together, right now, is the antidote to that panic. This is the ultimate guide to financial stability at 30. We are going to master your money. This is not another boring finance book. I will not talk down to you. I will not use confusing words that make you feel small. This is not a book for Wall Street. This is a book for our street. This is a practical guide for real life. Over our time together, we are going to tackle the 9 biggest money mistakes people make in this decade. We will bust the myth that renting is throwing money away. We will talk about how to stop overspending on our kids out of guilt. We will learn how to finally talk to our partners about money without starting a fight. Most importantly, we will build a simple, boring, automatic plan to invest your money so it grows while you sleep. This is not about getting rich quick. This is about getting control forever. It is about waking up in the morning and feeling peace. It is about building a life where you make decisions based on your values, not your bank account balance. Because this is serious, let me pause. Before the day rushes in, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, only if you truly enjoy what I am doing here. And in the comments, write your location, your time zone, and the time right now, this morning. Now, open the curtains and let the light in. Pour a glass of water. Maybe brew a coffee or tea, set your phone to do not disturb, and take one deep breath. Let's begin our journey this morning. Chapter 1. The Decisive Decade. Why your 30s define your financial future. Welcome to Chapter 1. You took that deep breath. You have your water or your coffee. You are here. That is the first step. And honestly, it is the biggest one. We just talked about that 3 a.m. panic, that feeling of dread and failure. Now, I want us to talk about why it is happening, and why it is happening to everyone right now in this specific stage of life. Think back, just for a minute, to your 20s. That decade was all about experimentation. It was for figuring things out. You probably moved apartments 5, maybe 6 times. You had roommates. You ate cheap pizza on the floor because you did not own a table. You changed jobs. Maybe you changed entire careers. Maybe you moved to a new city with just 2 suitcases and a job offer. You made mistakes. You probably made a lot of them, and that was perfectly, totally fine. Your 20s were for learning. But now you are in your 30s, and suddenly the rules feel very, very different. This is the decisive decade. This is not the decade for experimentation. This is the decade for implementation. This is the decade where the concrete for the rest of your life gets poured. And if you are not the one mixing it and pouring it, someone else will be, or it will just harden in all the wrong places. It feels so hard because 2 massive, powerful forces are hitting you at the exact same time. I call this the twin pressures of your 30s. On one hand, your career is finally starting to move. You are getting the promotion. You are getting the raise. You are leading projects. You are earning more money than you ever have before in your entire life. Your income is going up. That is the good news. But on the other hand, your life costs are exploding. They are not just growing slowly. They are exploding, often overnight. You get married, which is expensive. You try to buy a house, which is very expensive. You have your first child. You have your second child. You suddenly need to buy a bigger, safer car. You have to pay for childcare, which in most of America costs more than college tuition. All of these huge, wonderful, beautiful life events are happening right now, back to back, and every single one of them costs money, a lot of money. This pressure, this squeeze, leads to the single most dangerous thought a person in their 30s can have. It is a thought you have probably had late at night, when you are staring at the ceiling. The thought is this: I will figure this out later. I will get serious about my money in my 40s. That is a lie. It is the most expensive lie you will ever tell yourself, and we are going to destroy that lie right now. The magic weapon you have in your 30s, the superpower that you will never have again, is not your income. It is time. You have probably heard the word compounding. It sounds like a complex financial word, but it is not. It is simple. It is magic. All it means is that your money starts making money for itself. Imagine you are at the top of a very big, snowy hill. You pack together a small snowball. That snowball is the money you save right now. Even if it is just $50, you push it off, and it starts to roll. As it rolls, it picks up more snow. That new snow is the interest, the growth. The bigger the snowball gets, the faster it picks up even more snow, all by itself. Your 30s are the top of that hill. Starting now, even with a small snowball, gives you the entire length of that long, long hill to roll. You have 20, 30, maybe even 40 years for that snowball to grow into a boulder. If you wait until your 40s, you are starting halfway down the hill. You will have to start with a much bigger snowball. You will have to run twice as fast just to catch up. And if you wait until your 50s, you are standing at the bottom of the hill in the mud, wondering where all the snow went. The money you save and invest in this decade, your 30s, is more powerful than any other money you will ever save. $1 invested at age 30 is worth $3 or $4 invested at age 50. This is the decade. This is the time. So before we go further, we have to agree on our goal. When I say master your money, what does that mean? Many people think it means being rich. They think of sports cars, yachts, and giant empty houses. That is not what we are doing here. I am not interested in making you rich. I am interested in making you stable. Financial stability is different. Financial stability is peace. It is control. It is having options. What does that look like in real life? It means waking up at 3 a.m., feeling that jolt of panic, and then just rolling over and going back to sleep. Because you know your bills are paid. You know you have a plan. It means when your car breaks down, it is an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. It means you have a what-if fund. What if I get sick? What if I lose my job? What if I finally want to tell my terrible boss to take a hike and I want to start my own business? Financial stability is the power to say no to things that drain you. And it is the freedom to say yes to things that light you up. That is the goal. Control, options, peace. That is so much better than just being rich. So how do we get there? This book, Our Journey Together, is built on 3 simple pillars. Pillar 1, solidifying your foundation. This is all about communication and planning. This is where we learn how to finally talk to our partners about money and get on the same team. This is where we build our safety net. Pillar 2, optimizing your lifestyle. This is about spending, but it is not about skipping your morning coffee. This is where we tackle the 2 biggest money traps of our 30s, the house we buy and the way we spend on our kids. Pillar 3, building your future. This is the exciting part. This is where we make your money work for you. This is investing. This is retirement. This is building real, lasting wealth, simply and automatically. And to build those 3 pillars, we must first clear the ground. We have to find and avoid the 9 common pitfalls, the 9 traps that are specifically designed to keep people in their 30s feeling stressed and broke. Traps like defaulting on money rolls in your house. Traps like buying a house that you cannot really afford. Traps like overspending on your children out of guilt. Traps like thinking, I will save for retirement later. We are going to find every single one of those traps, and we are going to disarm them one by one. This is the decade. It is not a decade to fear. It is a decade to seize. The decisions you make in the next few years, the simple, small changes we are going to talk about, will have a bigger impact on your future than anything you did in your 20s, or anything you will do in your 50s. You are in the right place at the right time. You are not behind. You are right on time. Let's get to work. Chapter 2. The Money Talk. Escaping default roles and poor communication. It is a Tuesday night. You are both tired. You are trying to watch a show on television, but you are both just scrolling on your phones. One of you mentions a credit card bill that just arrived in the mail, and suddenly, the air in the room gets thick. It starts with a simple question. Maybe, did you really spend $200 at that store? Or maybe, I thought you said you were going to pay that bill. And then it begins. It is not a yelling match. It is worse. It is that cold, tense discussion that ends with one person shutting down and the other person feeling angry and alone. This is the money silence. It is the #1 failure in family finance, and it is more destructive than any amount of debt. In millions of homes across the country, money is managed by default, not by design. We fall into these unspoken, unhelpful roles without ever having a real conversation. Maybe this sounds familiar. In your house, one person just handles the money. They pay the bills, they move the money around, they try to track the budget, and they carry 100% of the stress, all by themselves. The other person stays in the dark. They might say, "I am just not good with numbers," or "You are better at it, you just handle it." This is not a partnership. This is delegation by assumption. The person in the dark has no idea what is going on, and the person managing it all feels completely alone and resentful. Or maybe you are in the other trap. It is the head in the sand approach. There is no manager. Both of you just spend. You both swipe your cards. You both assume the other person has things covered. You're like two ships passing in the night, just hoping you do not hit the same financial iceberg. We do this because talking about money is hard. It is not fun. For most of us, it is filled with shame, guilt, and fear. Maybe you grew up in a house where your parents fought about money all the time, and you swore you would never be like that. Or maybe you grew up in a house where money was a total secret, and it was never spoken of at all. Either way, we learned the same lesson. Money is a source of conflict, so we avoid it. But avoiding the talk does not avoid the problem. It just makes it bigger. It leads to hidden debts. It leads to secret purchases. It builds a wall of resentment brick by brick, right down the middle of your relationship. You cannot build wealth this way. You cannot find financial peace this way. You cannot build a skyscraper on a foundation of shaky ground. And you cannot build a secure future on a partnership that is filled with financial secrets. We have to build a new system. Today. The first step is to treat your family finances like a team, and every successful team needs a captain. We're going to borrow an idea from the business world. Every successful company has a chief financial officer. This is the person whose job it is to understand the numbers, track the progress, and present the plan. Your family needs one too. We will call this the Family Chief Financial Officer. Right away, let's be crystal clear. This role is not assigned by gender. It is not assigned by tradition. It is assigned by skill and interest. Who in your relationship is more organized? Who is better at tracking details? Who enjoys making a plan, or is at least willing to do it? That person should be the manager. And the other person, their role is just as important. Their job is not to disappear. Their job is to be the active, engaged partner. Their job is to show up, to participate in the planning, and to stick to the plan you both agree on. This is a team, so now you have a captain. But you still need a game plan. You need a safe, positive way to talk about money. This leads to the most important tool in this entire chapter, the money date. You cannot have a productive, positive money conversation on a Tuesday night when you are exhausted and the kids are screaming. It will never work. You are setting yourself up to fail. You have to be intentional. You must schedule it. Put it on the calendar, just like a doctor's appointment or a dinner reservation. Maybe it is a Sunday morning. You brew coffee, you sit at the kitchen table, and for 20 minutes, there are no phones, there is no television, there are no distractions. It is just the two of you as a team. And here is the most important part. Your first money date is not about the budget. Do not open a spreadsheet. Do not look at the bank account. If you do that, you will just end up fighting about the past. The first meeting is only about the future. It is about dreams. You start by asking positive questions. Questions like, what does financial peace look like to you? If we had no money worries, what would you want our life to look like in 5 years? What is one thing you have always wanted to do, like a trip or a hobby, that we have never talked about? You are just listening. No judgment. No shooting down ideas. You are just dreaming together. You are remembering why you are a team in the first place. You are finding your why. Then, on your next money date, maybe the following month, you can start to look at the numbers. Not to blame, just to see, to get a clear picture. One final piece of this new system. You need to fix your bank accounts. A common question is, should we combine our money? There are 3 basic ways to do this. The first is the one pot method. All the money from both paychecks goes into one single checking account. All the bills get paid from it. This is great for teamwork and simplicity, but it can make some people feel like they have no freedom. They feel like they have to ask permission to buy a coffee. The second way is separate accounts. His money, her money, and you just split the bills. This is great for independence, but it is terrible for teamwork. It creates secrets. It is not a partnership. I recommend a third way. The hybrid system. It is the best of both worlds. You set up 3 bank accounts. Account 1 is our bills. This is a joint checking account. A set amount or a percentage of each of your paychecks automatically goes into this account. This account pays the mortgage, the utilities, the car payments, the groceries, all the team stuff. Account 2 is your spending. This is your own personal checking account. A smaller amount of money goes here. This is your freedom money. You can spend it on anything you want. Coffee, clothes, hobbies, no questions asked. You never have to feel guilty about it. Account 3 is my spending. It is the exact same thing for your partner. This system gives you teamwork for all the big, important goals, and it gives you total freedom and autonomy for the small, daily stuff. It eliminates the daily arguments over who spent what. This is the foundation. It is the hardest part. It is not about math. It is about communication. So here's your action step for this chapter. Right now, I want you to pull out your phone. Open your calendar. Find a time in the next 7 days. Send an invitation to your partner. Title it Money Date. That is all. Just 20 minutes. Just to talk about dreams. It all starts with that one conversation. Chapter 3. The Family Plan. Budgeting for baby and beyond. Let's talk about one of the happiest, most exciting moments of your life. It is that moment you see the 2 pink lines on the test. Or maybe it is the ultrasound, that first grainy picture of a tiny, blurry bean. You are going to be a parent. Your whole world changes in an instant. It is pure joy. It is excitement. It is a love you have never felt before. And then, maybe a few days later, a new feeling creeps in. It often happens in the middle of the night. It is the feeling of panic. You are not just you anymore. You are responsible for a whole new human life. And you start thinking about everything. The hospital bills, the car seat, the diapers, the everything. This is mistake number 3. We treat having a child as a natural next step, or even a happy accident. We do not treat it as the single largest financial decision of our entire lives. Think about that. We spend more time planning a 2-week vacation or a kitchen renovation than we do planning for a new human being. We just fall into it. We assume that the love will be enough, and the love is enough. The love is everything, but the love does not pay the hospital bill. The love does not pay for childcare. And this reactive approach, this we will figure it out mentality, is what causes so much silent stress in what should be the happiest time of our lives. When we think about the cost of a baby, most of us just think about the one-time costs. We think about the crib, the stroller, the baby shower. Those costs are real, and they add up, but those costs are nothing. They are a rounding error compared to the true, ongoing costs. The first shock is the hospital bill. Even with good health insurance, the cost to just have the baby can be thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. The second and biggest shock is childcare. In most states in America, the cost of full-time, safe childcare for an infant is more expensive than in-state college tuition. Let me say that again. It costs more than college. For many families, it is a second mortgage payment. It is a number so big that it completely breaks your budget, and you did not even see it coming. Then there are the hidden costs. You need a bigger, safer car. You might need to move to a bigger apartment or a house, probably in a neighborhood with better schools. Your health insurance premiums go up. Your grocery bill doubles. And then there is the biggest hidden cost of all, the potential loss of income. Maybe one parent, mom or dad, decides to scale back their career. Maybe they stop working entirely for a few years. That is a beautiful, personal choice. But it is a massive financial decision. You have just doubled your expenses at the exact same moment you have cut your household income in half. This is not meant to scare you. This is meant to empower you. Because you can plan for this. You can move from panic to a plan. The goal is not to have $1 million saved before you have kids. The goal is to have a checklist and to be intentional. The moment you start thinking about having a child, or the moment you find out you are expecting, you need a new parent financial checklist. And because this is an audiobook, we are not using a list. We are going to walk through it, one step at a time. First, you need to update or create your will. This is not optional. This is not something for later. This is for right now. If something happens to you and your partner, you must have a legal document that says who you want to raise your child. This is the most important document you will ever sign. Second, you need life insurance. This is the subject of Chapter 9, so we will not go too deep here. But you need it, and you need a specific kind. You need term life insurance. It is simple. It is cheap. It is not a confusing investment. It is just a safety net. It is a promise that if anything happens to you, your partner and your child will have enough money to be okay. They can pay the mortgage. They can pay for college. It is a promise that their life can continue without financial ruin. Third, you need to start an education fund. Yes, right now. Even before they are born. This is often called a 529 plan. Do not worry about the name. All you need to know is that it is a special savings account for college. The best part is, anyone can contribute. Grandparents, aunts, uncles. Instead of buying another plastic toy, they can put $25 into this account. Even if you only start with $50 a month, you are starting. The habit is more important than the amount. Fourth, and this is the most practical step, you must create a baby fund. I want you to open a brand new, separate, high-yield savings account. Give it a nickname, Baby Fund. The moment you know you are expecting, I want you to start practicing your new budget. Calculate what your new costs will be. Childcare, diapers, formula. Let's say it is $800 a month. I want you to start automatically transferring that $800 a month right now from your checking account into this new baby fund. This does two magical things. First, it builds up a massive cash cushion that you can use for the hospital bill, the stroller, and those first few months. But more importantly, it gets you used to living on less money. It trains your cash flow for the new reality before the baby arrives. You are practicing being a financial parent. This is how you change the game. This is how you move from being reactive and stressed to being proactive and in control. A plan does not take away the magic of having a child. A plan protects the magic. It builds a financial fortress around your family so that the money stress cannot get in. It allows you to focus on the joy, on the first smile, the first steps, the first words. That is the real goal. Chapter 4. The rent versus buy deception. Escaping the ownership myth. Let's talk about the American dream, that powerful idea that you are not truly a successful adult until you own your own home. It is a belief that is programmed into us. We see it on television. We see our friends posting pictures on social media. That happy couple holding a set of keys with a caption like, "We did a thing," or "officially homeowners." And tied directly to that dream is the ultimate financial warning. It is the phrase we have all heard and probably all said. Renting is just throwing money away. We hear it from our parents. We hear it from our coworkers. We say it to ourselves as we write the rent check each month. That money is just gone, vanished. It feels like the most obvious, basic, and unchangeable truth of personal finance. Today, we are going to stop. We are going to challenge that idea. We are going to turn it over, look underneath it, and see what it is really made of. Because that simple phrase, renting is throwing money away, is a deception. It is not the whole truth. It is a myth. And believing that myth without questioning it is one of the single most expensive mistakes you can make in your 30s. Here's why. Let's do a simple comparison. Let's say you are a renter. You pay $2,000 a month for your apartment. At the end of the month, that $2,000 is gone. You threw it away in exchange for a safe, warm place to live. That part is true. Now, let's look at your friend, the new homeowner. They just bought a house. They have a mortgage payment. Let's say their payment is $3,000 a month. The common belief is that this money is not thrown away. It is building equity. You are paying yourself. It is a forced savings account. This is only partly true. In fact, it is barely true at all, especially in the beginning. The reality is that a huge, massive chunk of that homeowner's $3,000 is also being thrown away. It is disappearing every single month, just like your rent. We just call it by different, fancier names. Let's break down the homeowner's thrown away money. These are the phantom costs of ownership. First, there are property taxes. This is money you have to pay to your city, your county, and your school district, just for the privilege of owning a home. This money is gone. It is thrown away. Second, there is homeowner's insurance. This is mandatory. You have to pay an insurance company every month to protect the house. This money is gone, thrown away. Third, and this is the one that destroys budgets, there's maintenance and repairs. When you are a renter and the water heater breaks at 3 a.m., you make a phone call. That is it. When you are a homeowner, that is your problem. You are the one paying the plumber $500 on a Sunday. The roof leaks. The air conditioner dies. The dishwasher floods the kitchen. All of that money is gone, thrown away. Fourth, if you live in a newer neighborhood or a condo, you have homeowners association fees. This is money you must pay every month, and it can go up all the time. That money is also gone. And finally, the biggest, most invisible cost of all, mortgage interest. When you get a 30-year loan, the bank gets paid first. For the first 5, 10, even 15 years of your payments, almost your entire monthly payment is just interest. It is the fee you are paying to the bank for the loan. It is not building equity. It is not paying yourself. It is just gone, thrown away. So let's look at that homeowner's $3,000 payment again. When you add up their property taxes, their insurance, their maintenance costs, and that massive interest payment, it is very possible that $1,500 or even $2,000 of their payment is being thrown away every single month. So the renter throws away $2,000, and the homeowner also throws away $2,000. Suddenly, the math does not seem so simple, does it? The difference is, the homeowner is also responsible for fixing the broken toilet, while the renter is not. This is not a chapter to tell you do not buy a house. That is not the goal. The goal is to change the question. The question is not, am I throwing money away by renting? The real question is, what is the smarter financial decision for me in my city right now? Let's imagine a different path, the path of the renter-investor. Let's go back to our renter who pays $2,000 a month. Their homeowner friend is paying $3,000 a month. That is a difference of $1,000. What if our renter took that $1,000 difference every single month and invested it? What if they automatically transferred it into a simple, boring, low-cost index fund, the kind we are going to talk about in Chapter 7? What happens then? After 10 years, after 20 years, that renter-investor, the one who was supposedly throwing money away, could easily have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their investment account. They built wealth. They just built it in the stock market, not inside their walls. Plus, they had flexibility. If a new dream job came up in a different state, they could just move. They are not tied down by a giant, expensive asset that is hard to sell. Again, this is not renting is good, buying is bad. That is just another simple-minded myth. Buying a house can be a wonderful, beautiful thing. It gives you stability. It lets you paint the walls any color you want. It can be a great investment if you buy the right house at the right price, and you plan to stay in it for a very, very long time. The goal of this chapter is to free you. It is to take the emotion and the heavy social pressure out of this decision. It is to give you permission to rent without feeling like a failure. It is to give you permission to do the math. Your action step for this chapter is not to go buy or to go rent. Your action step is to calculate. I want you to go online and find a rent versus buy calculator. There are many good ones. And I want you to just play with the numbers for your own city. Put in the real house prices. Put in the real rent. See what the real phantom costs are. Do not make the biggest financial decision of your life based on a myth your parents told you. Make it based on math. Chapter 5. The House. Poor trap. Don't let your dream home become a nightmare. In the last chapter, we took apart the myth of renting. We freed ourselves from the pressure of throwing money away. We learned to do the math. But let's say you did the math. You checked your city, you have saved a down payment, and you have decided, based on logic and your own life goals, that buying a house is the right move for you. Congratulations. That is a huge, exciting step. So you do what you are supposed to do. You go to a bank or a mortgage lender. You give them all your paperwork, and a few days later, you get an email. This email contains a magic letter. It is the pre-approval. You open it, and your heart jumps. The bank says you are approved to borrow an enormous amount of money. Maybe it is $400,000. Maybe it is $500,000. Maybe it is more. In that moment, you feel incredible. You feel validated. You feel successful. You feel rich. The bank, a serious professional institution, has looked at your finances and said, "Yes, you can afford this." And right there, in that moment of victory, you are standing in the most dangerous trap of all. This is mistake number 5. Trusting the bank's number and buying too much house. That pre-approval letter is not a recommendation. It is not a friendly suggestion. It is not the bank acting as your financial advisor. That letter is a sales tool. Let's be very clear about the bank's goal. The bank's goal is not to make sure you are happy. The bank's goal is not to make sure you can still afford to go on vacation or save for retirement or pay for your kid's soccer team. The bank's goal is to make as much money from you in interest as legally and safely as possible. The number on that letter is the absolute suffocating maximum they are willing to lend you. It is the number that, according to their spreadsheets, you can probably pay back, just barely, without defaulting on the loan. It is the number that will stretch your budget to its absolute breaking point. But when we see that big number, we do a dangerous thing. We take that number and we start shopping for houses at that exact price. We go online and set our price filter to the maximum. This leads to a phenomenon, a quiet sickness that infects millions of American suburbs. It is called being house poor. It looks like this. You get the big, beautiful house. Your pictures on social media get 100 likes. You have the backyard. You have the extra bedroom. You have done it. But behind the scenes, you are drowning. You are house poor when your monthly paycheck just disappears. It hits your account on the first, and by the second, it is gone. It is just a ghost, passing through your account on its way to the bank, the power company, the water company, and the tax collector. You are house poor when your friends ask you to go out to dinner, and you have to say no again. You are house poor when your car needs new tires, and you have to put it on a credit card, even though you have a good job. You are house poor when you stop saving for retirement, when you stop saving for your kids' college, when you have zero money left over for investing, or for fun, or for life. Your beautiful 3,000 square foot dream home has become a 3,000 square foot prison. It owns you, You do not own it. This is the number one reason people in their 30s, even high-earning people, fail to build wealth. They lock up all of their income, all of their potential, into a single, oversized, non-moving asset. We are not going to let this happen to you. You are going to avoid this trap by ignoring the bank's number and creating your own number based on reality. So how do you find your number? You must look at the true cost of ownership. The bank only talks about principal and interest. That is the part of your payment that goes to the loan itself. But that is not the real number. Your real housing payment includes 4 things. 1. Principal and interest, the loan payment. 2. Property taxes, the money your city demands from you every year. 3. Homeowner's insurance, the money you must pay to protect the house. And 4. The one everyone forgets. Maintenance. A house is a living thing that is actively trying to fall apart. The roof gets old, the water heater breaks, the air conditioner dies. You must have a maintenance line item in your monthly budget. A safe rule is to plan to save at least 1% of your home's value every single year, just for repairs. If you buy a $400,000 house, that is $4,000 a year. That is $333 a month that you have to save just to keep the house running. Your true payment is all 4 of these things added together. So here's the rule, the safe, conservative rule. That total number, your true payment, should never be more than a comfortable, easy-to-pay part of your monthly take-home pay. Not your gross pay, but the money that actually hits your bank account. And you must look at your total debts, your new true house payment, plus your car payment, plus your student loans, plus any credit card payments. All of those things combined should still leave you with a huge amount of room to breathe. The action step for this chapter is simple, and you must do it before you ever talk to a bank. Sit down with your partner. Look at your real, current, honest budget. Decide together what monthly payment would feel truly comfortable. What number would let you still save for retirement? What number would let you still go on a vacation once a year? Find that number. Write it down. That is your number. Then, when you go to the bank, and they send you that magic letter with a number that is $50,000 or $100,000 higher, you will have the power to just smile and say, "No, thank you. I know my number." Buy the house that lets you live the life you want. Do not buy the house that becomes your life. It is far better to be the wealthiest person in a comfortable home than the poorest person in a dream house. Chapter 6. The Best for My Kid. Fallacy. How overspending on children hurts your family. Let's talk about guilt. It is a powerful, heavy feeling. And for parents in their 30s, especially working parents, it can be a constant companion. We feel guilty when we are at work because we are not with our kids. And then we feel guilty when we are with our kids because we are stressed and distracted by work. We look at our phones. We see other families on social media. We see the perfectly clean playrooms, the organic homemade snacks, the expensive family vacations. It all looks so perfect. And in that moment, we feel like we are not doing enough. We feel like we are failing, so what do? We try to buy our way out of the guilt. This is mistake number 6. This is the best for my kid fallacy. This is the dangerous and completely wrong belief that good parenting is expensive parenting. This is the trap that keeps smart, loving families broke. Because we feel guilty, we buy the $100 sneakers for a toddler who cannot even walk properly yet. We buy the $600 high-tech stroller when a $100 one would do the exact same job. We fill their bedrooms with a mountain of colorful, noisy, plastic toys. They play with the box for 10 minutes, and the toy is forgotten by Tuesday. But we keep buying. We sign them up for every possible class: baby music, toddler gymnastics, language immersion preschool. We are so terrified of them falling behind before they even know how to stand up. We do this because we love them. That is the honest truth at the center of it all. We love them so much it hurts. And we want them to have everything. We want them to have all the things we never had. And we do it because, as we said, we feel guilty. We are tired from a long week of work. It is often just easier to buy the new toy at the store, to get that moment of peace, than it is to sit on the living room floor for an hour and build a castle out of cardboard boxes. But we must stop. We have to draw a hard, clear line in our minds. We must separate good parenting from expensive parenting. They are not the same thing. In fact, they are often the exact opposite. Good parenting is love. Good parenting is time. It is patience. It is stability. It is security. It is sitting on the floor and reading the same book over and over for the 20th time with the same excitement in your voice. It is listening to their long, confusing, 5-minute story about a bug they saw at the park. It is being present. That is what kids truly crave. They do not crave the designer logo on their shirt. They crave you. Expensive parenting, on the other hand, is a trap. It is a trap that is hurting our children, and it is destroying our financial future. When we overspend, we are not just wasting money. We are teaching our kids a terrible lesson. We are teaching them without words that happiness can be bought at a store. We are teaching them that love is measured in dollars. We are setting them up to repeat the same cycle of stress and debt. And most importantly, we are adding massive stress to our own lives. Kids are smart. They are emotional sponges. They might not understand what a mortgage is, but they feel your stress. They feel the tension in your voice. They see you fighting with your partner about the credit card bill. A child will always be happier and better off in a small rented apartment with parents who are calm, happy, and present than they will be in a giant, mortgage-to-the-hilt dream house with parents who are stressed, anxious, and constantly fighting about money. Let me say that again, because it is the most important sentence in this chapter. A stressed, in-debt parent is a far greater liability to a child's well-being than a second-hand bicycle. This brings us to the most important rule of financial parenting. You hear it on an airplane every single time you fly. Put on your own oxygen mask first, before helping others. Why? Because if you pass out from lack of oxygen, you cannot help anyone. You are no good to your kids. The same is true for your money. The greatest, kindest, most loving financial gift you can ever give your children is your own financial stability. Your financial stability is their ultimate security. What does that gift look like? It is a funded retirement account. It is a life free from crushing debt. It is a home that is paid for. That is your real gift. That is the gift that ensures you will never, ever be a financial burden on them when they are adults. trying to raise their own families. This brings us to a hard choice. The choice between Chapter 3, the 529 plan for college, and Chapter 8, the 401k for your retirement. Here is the rule. You must fund your retirement first. This can feel wrong. It feels selfish. But it is the opposite. It is the most selfless financial decision you can make. Here is why. Your child has many options to pay for college. They can get scholarships, they can get grants, they can work a job, they can get a student loan. You cannot get a loan for retirement. There is no scholarship for being 70 years old. The bank will not give you a loan to stop working. If you sacrifice your own retirement to pay for their college, you are setting them up for a terrible trap later. You are secretly forcing them to become your retirement plan. We must break this cycle. Your action step for this chapter is not about your kids. It is about you. It is about the oxygen mask. This week, I just want you to log in. Find the password to your 401k or whatever retirement account you have from your job. If you do not have one, we will talk about that later. But if you do, just log in. Look at the number. No judgment, just look. And if you are not contributing any money, I want you to find the setting and set your contribution to just 1%, not 10%, not 5%, just 1. We are just starting the habit. If you are already contributing, I want you to raise it by 1%, from 3% to 4%. That is all. This is not selfish. This is the ultimate act of love. You are securing your future so that your children can be free to build theirs. Chapter 7. The Accidental Investor. Escaping safe bets and gambling. Let's talk about the money you have managed to save. Not the money for bills, but the extra. Maybe it is $10,000. Maybe it is $50,000. It is sitting in your bank savings account. You are proud of it, and you should be. You worked hard for it. You feel safe. But I need to tell you a hard truth. That money is not safe. It is, in fact, silently losing value every single day. It is losing its power to something called inflation. Inflation just means that prices for everything, from groceries to gas to housing, are slowly going up over time. If your bank is paying you 0.5%, but inflation is running at 3%, your money is losing its buying power. You are not keeping up. You are safely and slowly getting poorer. This is the first type of accidental investor. We will call this person the sleeper. This person is terrified of risk, so they choose what they think is no risk. But in reality, they are just choosing a different kind of risk, the guaranteed risk of being left behind. Now let's talk about the other type of person. This is the gambler. This person is the opposite. They are on their phone all the time. They are checking crypto prices. They are reading stock tips on a social media site. They just heard a sure thing from their brother-in-law. They are not investing. They are betting. They are looking for the one magic ticket, the one big win that will solve all their problems. They are stressed out. They are checking their account balance 10 times a day. Their heart pounds when they win, and they feel sick when they lose. This is not a plan. This is a trip to the casino. In your 30s, you are being pulled between these two extremes. You are pulled between the fear of losing everything, the sleeper, and the desperate desire to get rich quick, the gambler. We are here to choose a third path, the better path, the real path. This path is not called saving. It is not called gambling. It is called investing. Let's define our terms because the words matter. Saving is for short-term goals. Saving is for your emergency fund. It is for the new roof. It is for the down payment on the house. The goal of saving is safety. You need to know that money will be there in 6 months. A high-yield savings account is the perfect tool for this. Speculating or gambling is what the gambler is doing. It is betting. It is high risk. It is trying to time the market. It is stressful, and it is a fantastic way to lose your money. Investing is something else entirely. Investing is a long-term plan. It is not for this year. It is for 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. The goal of investing is growth, and the best, simplest, most powerful way to invest is summed up in 2 words. Boring is beautiful. For decades, people thought investing meant you had to be a genius. You had to wear a suit. You had to study charts. You had to try to pick the one winning stock, the next Apple, the next Amazon. But that is incredibly hard, and even the professionals get it wrong all the time. So, we are going to do something much, much simpler. We are not going to try to find the one winning needle in the haystack. We are just going to buy the entire haystack. This is called an index fund. It sounds like a fancy term, but it is the simplest idea in the world. An index fund is like a giant shopping basket. When you buy just one share of an index fund, that basket automatically contains a tiny, tiny piece of all the biggest companies. For example, the S&P 500 is a famous index. It is a basket that holds a tiny piece of the 500 largest, most successful companies in America. When you own this one fund, you own a piece of Apple. You own a piece of Microsoft. You own a piece of Google. You own a piece of all of them. Why is this so powerful? Because you do not have to pick winners. You do not care if one company has a bad year. You own 499 others. You are no longer betting on a single company. You are betting on the entire American economy to, over the long run, go up. And historically, that has been the best bet in the world. It is boring. It is beautiful. And it works. Now you ask, when is the right time to buy? The market seems high. Or, the market just crashed. I am too scared. This is the other mistake. People try to time the market. They try to buy on the one perfect day when prices are low. This is impossible. No one can do it. So, we are not going to try. We are going to build an automatic wealth machine. You do this by setting up an automatic transfer. Maybe it is $50. Maybe it is $500. The amount does not matter as much as the habit. You set it up so that every 2 weeks, the day you get paid, that money is automatically, robotically moved from your checking account and used to buy a piece of your index fund. This is genius. Here is why. When the market is high, your $100 buys fewer pieces. When the market crashes and everyone is panicking, your machine is still working. Your same $100 now buys more pieces because they are on sale. You are automatically buying low, without any emotion, without any stress. You are taking the guesswork out of the entire process. This is how you build real wealth, not by one lucky bet, but by a decade of boring, consistent, automatic investing. You are not a sleeper. You are not a gambler. You are an owner. Your action step for this chapter is simple. It is just about opening the door. I want you to go to the website of one of the big, low-cost investment companies. You know their names. A company like Vanguard or Fidelity or Schwab. You are just going to open an account. That is it. Just open the digital door. You do not even have to put any money in it yet. You are just building the house. We will move the furniture in later. Just open the account. You can open an individual retirement account, an IRA, which is for your retirement, or just a regular brokerage account. Just get it open. You are taking the first step. You are becoming an investor. Chapter 8. Retirement is a problem for my 50s. The most expensive lie. You tell yourself, I want you to do a little exercise with me. Close your eyes for a second. I want you to picture yourself, but you are 65 years old. Really see it. What do you look like? Where are you living? What are you doing on a typical Tuesday morning? Now let's picture two different futures for this 65-year-old you. In the first future, you wake up and you feel light. You are having coffee. You are not worried. You're looking at a travel website, planning a trip. You're going to visit your kids. Or maybe you are going to the mountains. The house is paid for. The bills are paid. You're not rich, but you are done. You are free. Your money is working for you, and you are just living your life. Now let's picture the second future. You are 65, and you are waking up at 5 a.m. You are tired. Your back hurts. You are getting dressed for a job you do not love. You are standing behind a cash register or greeting people at a big box store because you have to. You are not working for joy. You are working to pay the electric bill. You look at your bank account and you feel that same familiar cold knot of panic you have felt for 40 years. You cannot stop working. You do not have enough. You are not free. The difference between those two futures, the free you and the trapped you, is not decided in your 50s. It is decided right now, in your 30s. It is decided by whether or not you believe the single most dangerous, most expensive lie you can ever tell yourself. The lie is, I will save for retirement later. I will get serious in my 40s or 50s. That is a trap. It is a mathematical trap. And today, we are going to use cold, hard math to destroy that lie forever. To do this, I want you to meet two people, Sarah and Ben. Sarah is 30 years old. She is smart. She decides to start investing for retirement. She invests $5,000 every single year. But she only does it for 10 years. At age 40, she stops. She gets busy, life changes, and she never invests another dollar for retirement. She only invested for 10 years, from age 30 to age 40. Her total investment, $50,000. Now let's meet Ben. Ben is also smart, but he is a little late. He waits until he is 40 to start. He says, "Okay, time to get serious." And he does. Ben invests $5,000 every single year, just like Sarah. But he keeps going. He invests from age 40 all the way to age 60. That is 20 years of investing. His total investment, $100,000. So let's review. Sarah invested $50,000. Ben invested $100,000. Ben invested twice as much money as Sarah. Now it is time to retire. They are both 60 years old. Who has more money? It is not even close. Sarah, the one who started at 30 and stopped, has far more money than Ben. How? How is this possible? Ben worked twice as hard. The answer is the magic we talked about in Chapter 1, compounding, time, the snowball. Sarah's money, her little $50,000, had an extra 10 years to roll down that hill. It had an entire decade more of growth. That growth, that magic snow it picked up, ended up being worth more than all of Ben's extra money. This is the power of your 30s. This is the compounding launchpad. Every single dollar you invest right now in your 30s is a super dollar. It is worth 3 or 4 times more than any dollar you can save in your 50s. You are at the top of the hill right now. You have to start pushing the snowball. So how do you do it? It sounds complicated. It is not. The tools are right in front of you, and they are designed to be simple. The first and best tool is probably at your job. It is called the 401k. That is just a name for a special retirement basket. It is a magical basket. The money you put in it is often tax-deductible, and it grows for your future. But the real magic of the 401k is a set of words that should be music to your ears. Employer match. This is free money. It is the closest thing to real-life magic that exists. Your company is saying, hey, if you will just save 3% of your own money, we will give you another 3% for free. This is a 100% guaranteed, instant return on your money. You are doubling your money in 1 second. You will never beat that. You will never find a stock tip that good. You will never find a crypto coin that good. This is a 100% raise on that part of your money, and all you have to do is sign a piece of paper. Not taking the full employer match is like walking past a pile of free money on your desk every single day and just leaving it there. If you do not have a 401k at work, or if you are self-employed, you are not off the hook. You use an IRA, an individual retirement account. It is just your own personal retirement basket. You can open one, like we said, at any of those big, low-cost companies. You will see 2 types, traditional and Roth. Keep it simple. Traditional means you save on taxes today. Roth means you pay taxes today, but all of your money and all of its growth is 100% tax-free when you take it out in retirement. For most people in their 30s, the Roth is an absolutely amazing deal. You must stop telling yourself the fantasies. My kids will take care of me. That is not a plan. That is a burden. You are forcing them to choose between your future and their own. My pension will cover me. Pensions are almost all gone. That was your grandparents' plan, not yours. I will just sell my house. What if the market crashes right when you need to retire? Where will you live? There is only one plan. You are the plan. You saving money right now in these powerful accounts. So here is your action step. It is the most important one in this book. This week. Not next month. This week. I want you to log into your company's 401k website. Find the section that says Contributions. First, find out what your employer match is. Is it 3%? Is it 4%? Second, look at your own contribution. If your number is less than the company match, you are going to change it right now. You are going to raise your contribution to get the full, entire match, even if it is just a small raise. You're going to stop leaving that free money on the table. If you do not have a job plan, your action step is to go open that individual retirement account, that IRA that we talked about. Just get it open. This is it. This is the choice. Do you want to be the 65-year-old who is free or the one who is trapped? Your 30-year-old self is the only one who can decide. Chapter 9. It Won't Happen to Me. The Financial Doomsday Machine. We need to talk about something that no one wants to talk about. It is the part of finance that is not exciting, it is not about growth, and it is not fun. It is the chapter about the bad stuff. The what if. What if you get sick? Not just a cold, but really truly sick. What if you get in a car accident? What if there is a fire? What if the unthinkable happens? This is mistake number 9. Believing it won't happen to me. It is the blind spot. It is the part of our brain that tells us we are the exception. We are young, we are healthy, we are careful. We do not need to waste money on that. We think of insurance as a bill, a cost. We think of it as a bet we are making against a company, a bet that we lose every month that we stay healthy. We say, I paid all that money for car insurance last year, and I did not even get in an accident. What a waste. This way of thinking is a trap. It is a financial doomsday machine that you are building yourself, and it can wipe out everything you have worked for in a single afternoon. Today, we are going to redefine insurance. We are going to change what it means. Insurance is not an investment. The goal of insurance is not to make money. The goal of insurance is defense. In the last 2 chapters, we talked about building your treasure, your 401k and your individual retirement account. Those are your investments, your offense. But what good is a pile of treasure if you do not have any walls around your castle? Insurance is the wall. It is the moat. It is the gate. It is the financial fortress you build around your family, around your income, and around your future, to protect it from the outside world. In your 20s, you could get away with not having it. You were just protecting yourself. But in your 30s, everything is different. You have dependents. You have a partner. You have children. You have a mortgage. Being uninsured or underinsured when you have a family is not a calculated risk. It is not saving money. It is financial negligence. It is leaving the front gate of your castle wide open and just hoping that no one bad ever walks by. We are not going to do that. We are going to build your fortress. And you only need to focus on the big 3 for this decade. The first one is obvious: health insurance. This is non-negotiable. In America, a major medical event is the #1 cause of personal bankruptcy. It is the one thing that can create a 6-figure bill, a $500,000 bill, in a matter of days. You must have it. The second one is the one we misunderstand. Life insurance. This one is not for you. It is for them. It is for the people you love. If you are 35 years old and you have a partner, 2 small children, and a mortgage, I want you to ask a hard question. If you did not come home tomorrow, what would happen? Your income, your paycheck, just stops. Forever. Could your partner pay the mortgage on their own? Could they afford to pay for childcare and go to work and also pay for groceries and the car and everything else? The answer, for almost everyone, is a terrifying no. Life insurance is not a complicated, sad thing. It is a promise. It is the most loving "I told you so" in the world. It is a check that arrives for your family, and it says, "It is okay. I have got this. The mortgage is paid, college is still funded, You do not have to sell the house. You can just focus on grieving without also going broke. But what kind do you get? You will hear from salespeople. They will try to sell you whole life or universal life. They will tell you it is insurance and an investment. That should be a giant red flag. It is like a shampoo that is also a car wax. It tries to do two jobs, and it does both of them badly. These plans are confusing, inflexible, and incredibly expensive. They are packed with hidden fees. You do not need that. You need one simple, beautiful thing. Term life insurance. Term just means for a set amount of time. You buy it for 20 years or 30 years. The term is just the time it takes for your kids to grow up and for your investments to get big. It is simple. It is cheap. A healthy 35-year-old can often get $500,000 or even $1 million of coverage for just $30 or $40 or $50 a month. That is it. You buy the simple, cheap term policy. Then, you take the hundreds of dollars a month you saved by not buying that expensive whole life plan, and you go invest it in the boring index fund we talked about in Chapter 7. This is called buy term and invest the difference. It is the strategy that almost always wins. Now for the third one, the one everyone forgets. Disability insurance. This one is the most important for you while you are alive. What is your single most valuable financial asset? It is not your house. It is not your car. It is not your savings. It is your ability to earn a paycheck. Your income is the engine. It is the machine that makes your entire financial life work. Now ask yourself, what happens if you get in that car accident and you do not die? You just cannot work. For 6 months, for a year, maybe forever. Your income stops, but the bills do not. The mortgage is still due. The kids still need to eat. That is disability insurance. It is paycheck insurance. It is a plan that, if you get sick or hurt and cannot work, it sends you a check every month. It replaces your income. It keeps the engine running. It protects the one asset that makes everything else possible. This is the financial fortress: health, life, and disability. Your action step for this chapter is about finding out where you stand. This week, I want you to log in to your company's benefits website. Just look. Do you have life insurance through work? How much? Is it enough? Do you have disability insurance? How much of your paycheck does it cover? And if you have a partner, and you have children, and you have no life insurance, your action step this week is to go to a simple online website and get a free quote for term life insurance. Do not even buy it. Just get the quote. See how cheap peace of mind can be. This is not the fun chapter. But it is the one that lets you sleep at. It is the one that turns a financial doomsday machine into a financial fortress. Chapter 10. The Master Plan. Your 10-year journey to financial stability. We are here. We have reached the final chapter of our journey together, but it is the first chapter of your new life. We have walked through the 9 traps, the 9 pitfalls that are specifically designed to keep people in their 30s feeling stressed, broke, and overwhelmed. We have faced them. We have named them. We have disarmed them. And right now, you might be feeling 2 things at once. First, hopefully, you feel empowered. You feel that spark of recognition, that feeling of, I am not crazy, this is a system, and I can beat it. But you might also be feeling overwhelmed. We have talked about insurance and investing and budgets and talking to your partner and buying a house and saving for kids and retirement. It is a lot. You might be thinking, this is all great, but where do I possibly start? I feel like I am 1,000 miles behind. You are not behind. You are right where you need to be. The feeling of being overwhelmed is just the natural result of seeing the whole map at once. A map is not a list of chores you have to do today. It is a tool that shows you the path. You do not have to do this all at once. In fact, you cannot do this all at once. This is not a 10-day plan. This is your 10-year plan. This is the master plan for your decisive decade. This final chapter is our map. It is the now what chapter. We are going to take all 9 solutions, and we are going to organize them into a simple step-by-step checklist. We are going to break it down so you know exactly what to do first. We will organize it by urgency. What to do this week, what to do this month, and what to do this year. This is not a test. This is not a list of new ways to fail. This is your ladder. You just have to take the first step. Do this week. These are the fast, urgent, high-impact actions that protect you and stop you from leaving free money on the table. You can do these in the next 7 days. First, schedule the money date. This is from Chapter 2. Before you do anything else, you must get on the same team. Pull out your phone right now. Open the calendar. Find a 20-minute slot this weekend. Send your partner an invitation. Title it Money Date or Future Planning or whatever feels right. This is step 1. Second, get the free money. This is from Chapter 8. This week, you must log in to your company's 401k or benefits website. Find out what your employer match is. If you are not contributing enough to get the full entire match, you are going to change your contribution today. This is a 100% raise. Do not leave it on the table for one more day. Third, check your defenses. This is from Chapter 9. Log in to your benefits website and look at your life insurance and disability insurance. Just see what you have. Then, if you have a partner or children and no life insurance, I want you to go to an online quote website. Get a free anonymous quote for term life insurance. Just look at the number. You will be shocked at how cheap peace of mind can be. Part 2. Do this month. These are the system-building actions. In the next 30 days, you are going to build the machine that will make you wealthy. First, build your banking system. This is from Chapter 2. Go to your bank or go online. Set up the 3-account hybrid system. Open that new joint checking account for our bills. Set up the direct deposits so a part of your paycheck automatically goes there. Then, keep your 2 separate personal accounts for your freedom money. This stops the daily money fights instantly. Second, build your savings pots. This is from Chapter 3. Open a separate high-yield savings account. This is your what-if fund, your baby fund, your new car fund, your emergency fund. Give it a nickname. Then, set up an automatic transfer for the first day of every month, even if it is just $50. Automate it. Third, build your investing machine. This is from Chapter 7. You are going to open your investment account. If you do not have a 401k, you are opening an individual retirement account, or IRA. If you already have a retirement account, you can open a regular brokerage account for other goals. Just get the door open. Then, you will set up your automatic investment. just like your savings. This is the boring, beautiful, wealth-building engine. Part 3. Do this year, these are the big, thoughtful decisions. In the next 12 months, you will tackle one of these big projects. First, execute your housing plan. This is from chapters 4 and 5. You're going to do the math. You will use a rent versus buy calculator. You will sit down and find your true, comfortable house number, not the bank's number. If you decide to buy, your goal for this year is to save for the down payment. If you decide to rent, your goal is to invest the difference. Second, create your will. This is from chapter 3. It is the ultimate what-if plan. If you have children, this is not optional. You must do it. Find a service online. Talk to a lawyer. Get it done. Decide who will take care of your children. Sign the paper. Protect your family. Third, pay off one high-interest debt. If you are carrying expensive credit card debt, that is a 5-alarm fire. That is your emergency. You must use any extra money to put out that fire before you can do anything else. Make a plan. Pay it off. That is it. That is the plan. This is a journey. It is not a race. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be consistent. You will make mistakes. You will overspend 1 month. You will forget a bill. That is fine. That is life. You just get back on the plan. This is your decisive decade. Remember those 2 futures we pictured? The 65-year-old who was trapped and the 65-year-old who was free. The choice between them is not one big, dramatic moment. It is 1,000 small, quiet decisions. It is the decision to have the money date, even when you are tired. It is the decision to buy the comfortable house, not the impressive one. It is the decision to automatically invest that $100 every month, boringly, for 10 years. You have the map. You have the tools. You know the traps. The person you were when you started this journey is not the person you are right now. You know too much. You have seen the path. You cannot unsee it. The panic at 3 a.m., it will start to fade. It will be replaced by a new feeling, a quiet, solid feeling, the feeling of control, the feeling of peace. The decisive decade is here. Master your money. Master your life. Let's begin. We are at the end of our journey together, but it is the true beginning of yours. Think back to that person we met in chapter 1. The one waking up at 3 in the morning, filled with panic and a cold sense of dread. That person is not you anymore. You are not the same. You have the knowledge. You have the tools. You have the map. You know the 9 traps, and more importantly, you know the 9 pathways out. You know that buying a house is not a simple myth. You know that saving for retirement is a task for today, not for your 50s. You know how to build a fortress around your family. That panic in the dark, that feeling of being behind, it has been replaced by a plan. That dread has been replaced by a quiet confidence. This was never just about money. It was about peace. It was about freedom. It was about taking back control and having options. It was about building a life where your choices are driven by your values, not by your bank account. You now have the tools to do that. So what is next? This is the moment. Do not let this just be a good audiobook you once heard. Let this be the day your entire financial future changed. Your call to action is simple. First, I want you to commit. Pick just one action from that Chapter 10 checklist and do it today. Not tomorrow. Today. Whether it is scheduling the money date or checking your company's 401k match, just do one thing. Second, share this. Who is the one person you know right now who is also in this decisive decade? Your friend, your sister, your brother, your coworker, the one who you know is also feeling this stress. Be the one who breaks the money silence. Send this audiobook to them. Start a real conversation. You have the plan. The decade is yours. Go master your money. Go master your life. Thank you for listening.